Good Erev Shabbos, everyone. This week's Parsha is out of Vayeitzei. Yaakov takes leave of his mother and father, and as he is sent to Lavan, in which he is told that he will find a wife. It says that he comes to Choran, the city of Lavan, and there he comes to a well, and he sees that there are many shepherds with their flocks by the well, and they're just waiting. And there's a very large stone which is covering the opening of the well. He asks them, why aren't you tending to your flock? And they said, because we need to water our flock, but this boulder requires the strength of 10 men, and we have to wait until others come and they can help us remove the boulder. At that moment, Rachel, the daughter of Lavan, comes with some of his flock. And when he sees her, so it says, Yaakov, all by himself, removed this boulder that was covering the mouth of the well. And he gave water to the sheep of Lavan, his mother's brother. The Torah tells us that Yaakov was able to do this. As Rashi says, what would take 10 men to remove a boulder, Yaakov was able to do by himself. And not only that, but the Targum Yonasan ben Uziel tells us, he did it with one hand. One hand he was able to push the boulder. What took 10 men, he did with one hand. The question is, what is the Torah coming to teach us? That Yaakov was a bodybuilder? That Yaakov was a man of great physical strength? Of what interest is that to us? He was able to remove 10 men it took to do this. He did it all by himself, and a target, one hand. Who cares? What's the purpose of this? Is this what we're interested in? If we're looking for a shidduch for our daughter and somebody says, oh, I have a great shidduch, and he's so strong, he can pick up with one hand. Well, that's very nice, but that's not going to persuade anybody to pursue this shidduch. What's the Torah coming to teach us? In addition, in the Tefillah of Geshem, now we say on Shmini Atzeres, in which we are praying for rain, that the coming year should be one which is plentiful with rain. So there it invokes the merit of our patriarchs, Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. And in reference to Yaakov, it says, Yichad Leiv, he focused his heart, Vayogel Aven, and he removed the boulder. That Yaakov, this is the Yaakov. What are we saying? What great praise are we saying about Yaakov? What did he perfect? What did he personify? That we should invoke his merit, that God should hear our prayers and bestow upon us a year of rain. We say because Yaakov was able to focus and remove the stone, the boulder. Is that the best we could say about Yaakov? What, that he could pick up 200 pounds? That's it? What about Yaakov? Emes Yaakov. Yaakov personified truth. Yaakov remained faithful and loyal. Yaakov was the shining goal of all of the patriarchs. From Abraham, there was a Yishmael. From Yitzchak, there was an Esau. From Yaakov, there was nothing other than the holy, pure 12 tribes of Israel. This is what we say about Yaakov. Reb Chaim Shmulevitz teaches us that what is being said here is indeed revealing to us the greatness of Yaakov. If we think about the life of Yaakov, Yaakov was sent into exile. Avraham was with Yitzchak. Oh yes, they had many, many challenging tests. Bringing Yitzchak as a sacrifice is no question. But Avraham was with Yitzchak. Yitzchak was with Avraham. And now Yaakov is being sent away all by himself. And where is he sent? He's sent to live with Lavan. Lavan, the great deceiver. Lavan, who is the personification of deceit. Yaakov has to live with him for 20 years. And then Yaakov returns from this exile. He's confronted by Esav. And then he has to endure the tsaras that resulted from Yosef being taken from him. And then Yaakov has to endure the fact that he thinks that Shimon is dead and Yosef is dead, and then Binyamin is taken. Yaakov had one sorrow after another. Yaakov's life was the life that was indicative of living in exile with all of its oppression, with all of its challenges. And yet Yaakov remained the same Yaakov. Not only did he not in any way fall from his lofty level, but he grew. How did he do this? How was Yaakov able, despite the fact that he was inundated by these incredible tests and painful circumstances, how was he able to grow? The answer is because Yaakov knew that everything in his life was being orchestrated by Hashem. And if it's orchestrated by Hashem, oh yes, there's an Esav and there's a Lavan, but nevertheless, the fact that Yaakov had to deal with them, this was the will of Hashem. And if it's the will of Hashem, we are not going to allow these circumstances in any way to detract from our commitment and dedication unto our Creator. We won't let it break us. We won't let it affect us. But on the contrary, if this is what needs to be done, that I have to live with Lavan, I will do so. That is obviously what Hashem wants from me in my service to my Creator. If I must deal with an Esav, I will do so. If he had to deal with the death of his wife, Rachel, he would do so. The loss of Yosef and Shimon and Binyamin, not knowing what transpired with them. If this is his test in life, he will do so, and do so with simcha, with joy. How does a person do this? The answer is exactly what we say on Shmini Atzeres. It's not invoking the greatness of Yaakov that he was able to remove the boulder. That's not what the Torah is telling us. Where did Yaakov get the strength? He's sitting and learning in yeshiva day and night. Where did he get the physical strength to do this? The answer is Yichad Lev. We say in Shmini Atzeres in the prayer for rain, he focused his heart. What does that mean? He was focused. It means like sometimes we can find a young girl. She might be 20, 21 years old. If God forbid her baby is being endangered, she forgets and puts everything out of her mind, and she finds energy and strength. If she has to pick up a table, if she has to move a car, this 105-pound girl can do it. Why? Because she has one focus and one focus only, and that is her child needs her, and she's there. Where does she get the energy from? The answer is total focus. All of her energy is concentrated on this one point. You ever see these people in karate in which they take their hand and they go down and they're breaking bricks? How do you smash a brick? If we would do this, our hands would be shattered. How do they do it? The answer is Yichad Lev. They're able to focus all of their energy on one point, and going down on that one point, they can destroy it and smash it without hurting themselves. This is a concept. We know in Israel they're developing a laser weapon. What is a laser? Laser is used in medicine. What is this laser? A laser is a concentration of all the energy into one point, in which this energy, this light is so powerful, it can cut through tissue, it can cut through metal, it could cut through stone. Why? Because all of the forces are joined together. When they're joined together as one, it's unstoppable. This is what Yaakov was able to perfect. Yaakov, because he was a person who lived for truth and service of God, no matter what the circumstances, he was the Yichad Lev. He was able to have his heart, which means his mind, which means his total focus was to serve Hashem, to serve God. With all of his energy, and with that focus, he was like a laser. And with one hand, he could remove a boulder that took 10 men. This is what the Torah is showing us of Yaakov. When a person uses their energy and remains focused in the service of Hashem, there are no obstacles. There is nothing that can be put before us that we cannot not only overcome, we can utilize it as a means and a mechanism of growing stronger and closer to our Creator. This is what Yaakov is demonstrating. That's what the Torah is showing us. That's the greatness of Yaakov. And this is the greatness of Klal Yisrael. If Klal Yisrael can come and have a yichad lev, if we can come together as one, if we can join together, we've seen how the tragedies of October 7th have brought us together, have removed the distractions, the silly distractions, and we've come together. And there's so much more room for our unity as we join together in our hearts and we remind ourselves and we rediscover what it means to be a Jew, what it means to stand at Sinai, what it means to have God's Torah, what it means to be able to fulfill his mitzvahs, what it means to serve our Creator. When we focus on this and we become one, there is no greater power or force in the universe. This is the Yichad Lev of Yaakov, and we are all the Bnei Yaakov. We're all Bnei Yisrael, the children of Israel, and we possess this potential. May the Almighty enable us that we should not be tested with these great difficulties, but if we are, we should recognize that we have within ourselves the ability to stay focused in our service to Hashem, and we can unify and come together. And with such a unity, we will be an insurmountable force that we should be worthy of witnessing revelation of Mashiach in our lifetime. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay Jewish. Have a wonderful Shabbos.